What is up, everyone? WWDC just came and went, and with it we got some massive Apple updates to all our Apple devices. In this video, we're going to be going over iOS 26 updates that are coming to your iPhone in September with the launch of the iPhone 17. As always, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're new or a returning viewer, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, so you won't want to miss that. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. And now back to all the iOS 26 info. With most new iOS releases, Apple usually changes the game in a big way, but this year seems to be larger than usual. With an all-new redesigned iOS, your iPhone will look and feel different when using the software. This is also true for all your Apple devices. Inspired by the Apple Vision Pro operating system, visionOS, Apple is releasing what they're calling Liquid Glass. Liquid Glass in iOS 26 represents the biggest change to iOS since iOS 7 was introduced all the way back in 2013. Liquid Glass is a translucent effect that dynamically reacts to your movements. This new design extends to the dock, widgets, and icons, and Apple says the changes blur the lines between hardware and software. One example of how these design changes are applied is the lock screen, which is more adaptive and can dynamically scale the image you choose as your wallpaper to fit the height and width of the lock screen. There's also a new animated Apple Music artwork option for when you're listening to music, which is pretty cool once artists start taking advantage of this. Along with Liquid Glass, Apple has updated a lot of their apps to represent this new look and feel, not only changing the button to be translucent, but also redesigning how the apps themselves work. Let's start with the Games app. Apple is finally cleaning up the gaming experience on the iPhone with a brand new Games app, which is about time as we don't know anyone who actually uses the old Game Center. Apple says it's creating a new destination to help its gamers get more out of their games. The Games app will offer various tabs to make finding the games you're playing or have played a ton easier. The Home tab reveals what's most relevant to you. The Library tab shows all the games you have ever downloaded, making a game you might have forgot about easier to find when they come out with a new update. There's also a Play Together button where you can see what friends are playing, play games with them, compare scores, and even invite them to play games with you. You can also challenge them to beat your highest score in single-player games. Next up is the Phone app, one I think most people dread using, opting for texting most. But Apple says the Phone app is its fundamental to the iPhone, and this year they are turning it into a personal assistant, not to be confused with Siri. Apple is tapping into Apple Intelligence to bring new voicemail summaries to surface the most important information. But even more exciting, it's aiming to eliminate unwanted calls with a new feature called call screening, which starts by asking for the caller's details, which it will need to provide before you decide whether to answer or not. Another new feature is Hold Assist, which will keep your spot in line while you wait for a live agent. The iPhone will detect hold music and remain connected, calling you back when the agent becomes free and letting the agent know that you're coming back also. I've seen these features from other companies who will call you back when your spot in line is ready, but this seems to be taking it a step further, which is really great. You can also communicate with someone who speaks another language with live translations during phone calls. Alongside the Phone app is FaceTime. FaceTime's interface has been redesigned to show controls only when you need them while keeping the caller in focus. The controls are now elegantly floating in the bottom right-hand corner and fade away when not in use. The FaceTime call list has even been refreshed, featuring autoplay video messages as you browse through your calls. Just like the Phone app, Messages is getting a screening tool to combat spam. The on-device spam detection will give you total control over who appears in your conversation list, according to Apple. Messages from unknown senders will be moved to a separate list where you can manage them, and important messages like verification codes will still appear at the top of your main list and automatically delete after use. While this feature isn't entirely new, Apple has offered separate known senders and unknown senders categories for a while. Within message threads, you can add new background images to chats that everyone will see, but the biggest change is to group chats. Group chats add the option to create a poll. It will even suggest a poll if a situation calls for one. From there, anyone can add options to that poll as well. Those who have access to Apple Cash, which is still US only, can access this from group chats instead of needing to Venmo or Zelle somebody, but I still think most people are going to opt for one of those two options, as Apple Cash isn't exactly the biggest or highest use case. Along with Apple Cash, the Wallet app is getting some pretty major upgrades. Some might actually help you save money if you take a lot of flights. Apple says there will be more ways to pay with Apple Pay. For example, you can redeem points or choose to pay in installments, and the ability to add driver's licenses to the app, but this feature is currently only available in 9 states, so may the odds be ever in your favor for that new feature. For the fall, Apple says you will be able to add a US passport to the wallet as well, but only for use within the United States, but that's still a great and convenient way for work travel and not living in one of those 9 states. Just pull out your phone, show your passport and ticket, and you're good to go, and you can leave your wallet in your bag while going through screening. You can also track Apple Pay orders with Apple Intelligence, finding the order details and tracking information and keeping them together for you. Along with tracking, Wallet will now show you information about your flights in a live activity, much like the Flighty app. So depending on how you use Flighty, it could save you $80-ish a year, which is awesome and great for live activities to be getting this information. Now within the Music app, there are some small but really cool changes. Aided by Apple Intelligence, you'll be able to see lyrics translations, including lyric pronunciations, so you can sing along with the tunes you like even when they're in a different language. Another new feature is Auto Mix, which will use DJ-like effects to swap between songs, and I've been using this for the last 24 hours while walking the dog, and I can't say there's too much difference between this and the transitions that we've had for the last 2 years or so. Visual Intelligence is now more deeply integrated into iOS 26's interface, letting you visually search anything on your iPhone screen. If you spot a jacket you like while browsing social media, simply take a screenshot and use Visual Intelligence to find similar jackets across the web and apps. You can even refine your search by highlighting specific areas of the screenshot. And finally, for the Music app is the ability to pin music. So now you can pin a playlist, album, artist, or song at the top of your library tab to easily find what you're looking for. It looks a lot like the pinned messages in iMessages, so I'm sure this will be a highly used feature. And last but not least, the Maps app also gets an update with your iPhone using Apple Intelligence to understand your regular commutes and learn your favorites, and it'll warn you if you should take a different route due to traffic. Another change to Maps is if you want it to, you can ask it to log visited places, which will make it easier to find and recall places you've been to in the past. It's also easy to delete that history as well. A bonus extra is CarPlay. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call this an iOS update, although they do call it your iPhone within your car, so Apple grouped it into this section. Regular CarPlay is getting a UI look and feel overhaul with the liquid glass, and after using it yesterday, it looks great, and live activity support is incredible for keeping up with your favorite teams while you're on the go. Apple CarPlay Ultra was mentioned as well, and will be rolling out to more brands soon, but for us Toyota drivers, we're SOL on that, as Toyota is not working with Apple to bring any of those new features to their cars, which is a huge bummer. Now that's the big updates for iOS 26 this year. The developer beta is ready to download, but make sure to have a backup on your phone before you update. And let me know down in the comments what your favorite new feature of iOS 26 is down below, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as we're near 1,000 subscribers and a nice giveaway. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.